Boom! What's up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, quick video by the way, we're going to be talking about Riot Blockchain, the tear it's been on, and where I think it could be going from here. I'll give you a hint. I think we're going to be slowing down a little bit soon, and I'll explain why that is. So, before we dive into Riot on the charts, before we celebrate a little bit, because it's been a massive week for Waves Capital, not just Riot, but for Weight Watchers, the stock was up 60% today. We had a meaningful position, call options, of course, at Waves Capital on this stock for the past month or so now. So, big week for Waves Capital, Riot Blockchain, the cherry on top. I want to talk a little bit about the trades, a little bit about how I've been operating my portfolio over the past couple of days. We're only 2 days into this new week, but it's been massive so far. So we'll just do a little congratulations after we discuss Bitcoin and Riot on the charts. And yeah, actually, I'll bring up those call options in a Robinhood just to show you guys what my Riot and Weight Watchers call options have done over the past week. Okay, so that's the video, you guys. As always, before we discuss Riot, we have to kick it off with the king, because the price action of Bitcoin will always significantly impact that of Riot Blockchain and all Bitcoin miners, of course. Okay, so Bitcoin, it's pretty damn clear, just if you guys are looking at the chart that's been sitting in front of us, why I think we could be slowing down soon. We are quickly approaching this line of shorter term resistance that Bitcoin has been held under since really this uptrend started at the beginning of 2023. Has technically been really the ascension that Bitcoin's seen, but I guess it's held this line of resistance, technically speaking, since January 21st. So you can see many touch points here. This is a very, very clear line of resistance that pretty much every trader who is looking at Bitcoin on the charts is taking into consideration, and it's going to be difficult, being the line of resistance that it is, for Bitcoin to break above this. Yes, Bitcoin has a lot of fundamental momentum behind it. There has been a lot of, what I would say, in all honesty, you guys know I love Bitcoin. There's been a lot of unnecessary and kind of uneducated fear around the strength of the dollar. I've been hearing a lot of hearing the headline conversations about the dollar losing value and everyone skewing away from the dollar. Maybe that happens over the course of the next generation, but really this isn't something that we need to be worried about in the short term. And technically speaking, I wasn't planning on doing this, but we can just take a look at the Dixie real quick. When you zoom out on the dollar, it's still pretty damn strong, and relative to other fiat currencies, even if you're a bear on fiat currencies, I'm not personally, but hey, if you fall in that camp, the dollar is still the best of a worse thing, like the dollar relative to most fiat currencies is still way stronger. It's still the global reserve currency. And yeah, I don't think that the shit talking over the dollar is necessarily warranted. But regardless, optics are everything, especially in markets like this. That's just, whether you agree with that or not, that's the reality of the game. That's just how things are. And optics are everything. And again, optics around the dollar are bad. People are afraid of the solvency within banks. So there are a lot of, this is a very fear-driven rally in a sense. But as we zoom out here, another thing that's really important to take into consideration is the lack in volume that we're seeing in Bitcoin. Even if you look at, obviously the higher the price gets, the lower the amount of traded Bitcoin are going to be, because the value of one Bitcoin's going to be higher. Of course, when you're talking about the dollar value traded in Bitcoin, maybe it's not maybe it's not moving too much. But when you're talking about the amount of Bitcoin moving, obviously that skews as the price of Bitcoin goes up, if you understand what I'm saying. If not, then I'm not going to even elaborate on that anymore. But Bitcoin, on top of approaching short-term resistance, again, very, very clear line of resistance that every trader and their mom is looking at. We are approaching the top end of what has been, I would say, my wave 2 target since this consolidation phase that we saw from mid-March to kind of the breakout that we just saw a couple of days ago, of $31,500, or the conservative top end of this range. Of course, you could say this is the top end of the range technically right here, around $32,500. but I like multiple touch points in there. I feel more comfortable setting the top end of this previous range that Bitcoin spent, May 12th of 22 to June, June 12th, spent like a month in this range. And ever since we're going sideways here, if we saw continued upside, this was kind of the area that I think Bitcoin would reclaim and spend some time in this range within this range once again. So again, on top of short-term resistance, we are reaching a historical ceiling of $32,000, give or take, a few $100, giving me reason to believe that Bitcoin will slow down. Okay, so is this guaranteed? Absolutely not. Could Bitcoin keep ripping? 100%, because Bitcoin, along with, again, the fundamental, almost fear-driven catalyst that prove Bitcoin to be an amazing chaos hedge and the fear hedge that it is, and that we've called it many times on this channel. But Bitcoin looking strong as a trader. Just rationally speaking, I have to believe that we slow down here soon, given the resistance on the horizon. Riot Blockchain, very, very similar story. I'll pull up our Riot calls before we do this. And, we'll actually read through this guy as well real quick, just to, do a little bit of celebration before talking technicals. But Riot has been crushing it for us, you guys. I actually just recorded that video on Weight Watchers and shared those contracts. So I'll just share them here again because it was so like some of the best calls that WavesCap has seen in a very long time. Weight Watchers, and these are July calls, which is pretty crazy, and pretty conservative, honestly. Like few months out on the expiration date. Closed the day up nearly 600%. At one point was up 8x on the day, 700% on the day. That's insane. So again, cheers to an amazing couple of days, WavesCap. I fully just forgot to bring up the Riot calls. Let's do that. But cheers to an amazing couple of days. It's been awesome. We can see it here in the past week, these Riot calls, which are also fairly conservative in the money. These are May 19th, which is my B-Day, by the way. May 19th, Riot $10 calls. It's a great birthday present. It's actually my lady's birthday today, so I'm going to go spend some time with her after this. A lot of tangents in this video. But Riot in the past week, up 147%. You'll love to see that. And again, it's just been amazing 2 days for Waves Capital. So to play in the short term a little bit, tomorrow is going to be a volatile one with the release of the March CPI report. But I think I've made my thoughts clear over the past couple of days, which I'm not going to get into now. I'll just say that really my thoughts on this aren't clear. The estimate for the CPI report tomorrow, I think, is minus 0.8% from what the February CPI was. So March CPI is expected to be 0.8% lower than February CPI, which is pretty extreme. And it's kind of bold to set an estimate that steep because that doesn't leave much room for a beat on those expectations. So, always under promise and over deliver. I think that this promise may be a little too strong, but hey, fingers crossed. I pray that we come in colder. Anyway, to talk about trades a little bit, you guys, identify a potential trend, buy up the options contracts in which you believe have the greatest asymmetric risk profile. Sit back, grab the popcorn. We called this one beautifully, and now we reap the rewards. Let's lock in some gains. So, as always, you guys, if you're not part of Waves Capital yet, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Give it a shot. It's the first link in the description box down below. I did not mean to zoom in on myself like that. But $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. I recommend you try it free for 7 days. That's how confident I am in the product. And if you don't like it, you can always just unsubscribe and peace out. But you guys, with the trades I just showed you, if you're trading just $100, like split between those two positions, obviously there's a lot more positions than that in the portfolio. For example, today, even with the Weight Watchers position, the portfolio was up about 80% on the day. But hey, that's still freaking amazing. And when you're talking about the year of 2023, I think the portfolios after today is probably up. It's up well over 10x. I'll just say that much, okay? So, again, you guys, give it a shot. Just try it free. If you don't like it, you can always bail out. But I couldn't be more confident in the product that I deliver, and I work really hard on it. So I feel zero guilt in plugging it. First link in the description once again. Appreciate you guys joining, and if you do, welcome to the winning team in advance. Riot Blockchain is quickly approaching what I believe will be the short-term peak of its second wave, unless, again, tomorrow's CPI report comes in chilly. They will probably keep ripping. But you guys, this has been my target, like my I would say, I mean, ever since really April, May of 2022, almost a year ago, this has been the target since we really saw this sell-off just about a year ago. Because this is the prior macro low. When we zoom out, as we all know, Riot has been in a progressive downtrend. I mean, this is another stock that's just been absolutely beaten up over the past couple of years, pretty much with all of many growth stocks that we know and love so dearly. Riot being I would say number one, probably it was the first stock I ever made an investment video on. I mean, it's been beat, but it's coming back, and I always love to say it. I was going to say something else there, but completely forgot. Sorry, I just recorded that other video. I'm pretty brain dead, and I'm trying to rush because, again, I got to go hang with a lady. But this has been, voice is even cracky. This has been my target for a while, you guys. The prior macro low set on January 21st of 2022. Prior floor has become new ceilings. We're only a few percent away from that ceiling. Therefore, I did take significant profits today. Those of you in the portfolio would know that. And, although we are reaching what I believe will act as a ceiling, again, that's just the trading game, I'm still holding a pretty meaningful position. We're seeing some amazing volume on Riot, 2x with 55 million shares traded today on a 23 mil average. I mean, this thing's looking amazing. And, even if we slow down in the short term, I will always retain my bullish sentiment on the long term. And, I still hold many, many Riot shares that I've held since 2017 in my personal portfolio. And I continue to keep those shares for much longer. That's the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. My voice is going out. And it's a good thing I don't have to talk anymore. I'll talk to you guys, or I'll type to you guys in the comments downstairs. And again, if you want to join the winning team, if you want to know how I'm trading through the rest of the week, because I probably won't record any videos until at least Friday or this weekend. First link down below. Look forward to seeing you on the winning team once again. Till then, always remember, you guys, take action and make waves. Peace.